Hi everyone! So today's video is something that I've been wanting to film for a little while now. I don't really have a plan of how this video is going to go. I just want to speak and let some of my thoughts out. This video is not about sympathy. I don't want it. That's not the aim for me. The aim is to sort of just be heard and more understood and give the people that have been on my social media journey an insight as to why I haven't been consistent on YouTube, and also talk about how I've got to this point now. I apologise in advance if the lighting in this video is kind of doing its own thing. I'm using natural lighting and 1 minute the sun's out, 1 minute it's not, but we're just going to go with it anyway. I also wanted to say that this video might be here, there and everywhere. I'm going to try and explain things to the best of my ability, but please keep in mind that I am speaking to a camera. When you're face to face and you're having a conversation with somebody, they can ask you questions, you can answer the questions back, and you can sort of piece things together. But in this case, I'm obviously talking to a camera and I'm trying to explain things. Just want to throw out a disclaimer as well. I will be talking about mental illness and eating disorders in this video, so if that's something that triggers you, then please don't watch this video. However, I do want to say that I've come out of those things now, which I'll explain later on in the video. So maybe you're somebody that wants to watch. I remember when I was dealing with certain things, I would like to watch these sort of videos. It didn't really trigger me, it just inspired me to become better. So maybe you're like that, but just know yourself. If something will trigger you, then please don't watch it. I'm going to focus more so on YouTube because it's been the place where I've been the most inconsistent. I think it's probably best if I give you sort of a timeline of when I started, how I came across my first sort of YouTube video and how I've got to this point now. Okay, so I'm going to go back. I feel like the lighting's too bright. Like, is that too bright? No. Is that too dark? I don't even know at this point. So, ages 12 or 13, I'm not exactly sure. That was when I first came across beauty videos. That was when I first came across beauty gurus, which is basically what influencers are called now, but back then it was beauty gurus. The first beauty guru that I ever came across was Michelle Phan, and if you've been watching beauty videos for a long time, you will know exactly who she is. She is literally an OG in this game. I was literally hooked on these videos. These videos became an escape for me. It became an escape from my personal life, and I honestly felt like I had a friend in the room with me talking about all the things that I loved. I spent hours and hours watching these sorts of videos. Probably too much time on YouTube, but it's the reason why I'm able to do makeup now. YouTube literally taught me everything that I know. All of these videos that I was watching really inspired me, and it inspired me to make my own channel. I wanted to create content that other people would watch, so I did that. So I remember using this silver camera that we had in the house. It was my mum's. It wasn't very good, but it done the job. And then I used Windows Movie Maker to edit, and that was basically the start of me doing YouTube videos. I think I let 1 or 2 people know about me doing these YouTube videos. These are people that I thought I could trust. Obviously, I couldn't because the word got out. But word got out, and let's just say people were not very nice about it. Back then, and where I'm from, because I'm not originally from London, I moved to London like 3.5, 4 years ago, but where I'm from, it's a small town, and if you do anything that's out of the box or just out of the ordinary, it's weird. And that was what me doing these YouTube videos was to people. It was just weird. I loved doing these videos, but to put it short, people weren't very nice about it, so I decided to shut down the channel because it felt easier to do that than deal with the shit that people were giving me for having these YouTube videos up. I was picked on quite a fair bit at school, and then I had things going on at home, so I think YouTube became a little bit of a security blanket for me. It was like a world that I could just escape to. So obviously I continued to watch YouTube videos and whatever, but fast forward on, I've left school and I've started college. I studied beauty therapy level 2 and levels 3, and that was where I met Jess. I did beauty therapy because I knew that I would be good at it, but when I was there, it was so much harder than I ever could have imagined. It was more so the theory side, to be honest with you, that was really hard. I literally couldn't believe all of the things that we had to learn. But I did it, I got through it, and that was that. Around that time was when Instagram started to become a thing. And I was like everyone, just posting selfies and posting my food and posting whatever. And obviously my friends would see and I'd get a few likes. As time went on and I was on Instagram, I started to get tags from these pages. It was like pages for like mixed race girls or light skinned girls, curly hair girls, just shit like that. But these pages were featuring me on their Instagram, and that was basically how people were finding me. I remember my followers going up and just texting me like, "You're gonna hit 10k tonight, fam," and I was just like, what is going on? Snapchat was a bigger thing back then as well, so people were following me on there. I was getting these messages and people were commenting on my videos and photos, asking me how I do my hair or how I do my makeup or what products I use. And that was kind of when I decided to start back on YouTube. You guys are literally the reason why I started back on YouTube again. Because obviously as my following was growing, it was getting harder and harder to like reply to everybody, and I really wanted to, so I decided to just show you guys. You guys definitely gave me the confidence to start back up. When I left school, obviously I wasn't getting picked on anymore, like that wasn't a thing, but I had a confidence issue. I just grew to not like myself. Most of my childhood and as far back as I can remember, there were things going on at home. I really wish I could speak to you guys about everything. However, I've got to take into consideration that this is my career, and a lot of the things that took place in my life also affected other people. I'm not the only person that's involved in everything that happened. And as much as I would be happy to speak about everything, I know that not everybody is happy to speak about it. So I have to just be cautious of that, I have to be aware of that, and I have to respect people's decision. But basically there were things going on at home, and that really prevented me from being as consistent as I wanted to be on YouTube. That's all I can really say about that, to be honest with you. So let's fast forward on to me leaving home. Age 20, I left home, and let's just say it's not something that I necessarily wanted to do, it was something that I had to do, and the whole situation was beyond stressful. I was trying to get my life together and I was trying to work at the same time, and it was a lot of up and downs. So I moved to London, and 3 months later I got pregnant with my daughter Isla, and that was when my depression was getting out of control. I was literally not the Jade that any of you guys know. I was depressed, I was constantly nauseous, constantly sick, constantly drained. I just constantly felt terrible. It was like that for a lot of my pregnancy. I obviously had days where I was okay, and then I had periods of time where things were better. I'd say when I was around 6 months, that's when I started to feel a little bit more like myself, but I was not me. During that time, me being consistent on YouTube was just not an option. And I did try to film a few videos. I think most of them are gone now because I just I hate seeing that version of myself. I was obviously getting comments about how I was being, and I think people just thought that I didn't care anymore, which obviously wasn't the case. But from the outside looking in, that's what it looked like. As I said before, there were days where I felt better than other days. But for the most part, pregnancy took the life out of me. So preparing for a baby, feeling how I did and trying to work was very, very difficult. I really didn't want to put videos out for the sake of it. I'm quite prideful like that. So I just didn't really upload. And I honestly didn't really want to speak about it. I felt like I would be judged, so I just avoided it. After I had Isla, my depression continued and it got worse. As many of you know, she was born premature and she had to stay in hospital for a month, and that destroyed me. That was basically when my eating disorder came at full force and I just was not looking after myself whatsoever. I think between me being a person that doesn't tend to eat when stuff is going on and me spending most of my time in hospital with Isla, I just forgot about myself. I forgot eating. My focus was just getting my baby home. When she did finally come home, I had zero appetite. The thought of food made me want to be sick. And it's the weirdest thing because it's not as if I've ever wanted to be skinny. I've never wanted to be skinny. I've actually always hated being quite petite. I'm growing to love it now. However, it's never been an aim for me. And that's why I felt like I didn't really have an eating disorder, because in my head, an eating disorder is somebody that wants to be skinny, but it's not that whatsoever. Eating disorders come in so many different shapes and forms. Even overeating can be an eating disorder. Basically, not having normal eating behavior can be considered as an eating disorder. I've always been small and I've always been tiny, and as I said, I'm somebody that struggles to eat when I'm going through things, but it was never as bad as what it had got. Yeah, I might skip a meal or I might not eat for one day and then eat well the next day, but in this case I just stopped eating altogether. Some of you would know already, but ever since I had Isla, I've been suffering with an eating disorder, and it's caused me to lose a lot of weight. Sorry, I'm really trying hard not to cry. Yeah, I've been suffering with an eating disorder and it's caused me to lose a lot of weight. Oh, sorry. For the last few months it's improved, but I do get days where I really, really struggle. And today is one of those days for me. I didn't really want to come on here and like explain anything or show that I'm sad, but I looked at a comment about me yesterday and it said that like I'm really, really pretty, but I look like I haven't eaten for a year. And the truth is, I've been dealing with what I've been dealing with. And I really, really try. Fuck, sorry. I hate crying. I know it's okay to cry, but I hate it. I've been really trying to carry on as normal, but it's really hard when obviously people are catching on to things. I lost so much weight. I mean, I'm not exactly thickums now, but I lost so much weight. I was so pale, my face was drawn in, you could see my chest bones, my arms, oh my god, you could see my ribs. I just looked unwell. Some people were truly concerned about me, but some people were just outright nasty. When you're not feeling yourself and when you're at your lowest point, it's not the nicest thing to hear people speak so horribly about yourself. I was already feeling shit. I knew what I was seeing in the mirror. I knew I looked disgusting. And obviously all of these comments just reinforced that to me. It was like everything that I thought about myself was real because so many other people thought that. And honestly, none of these comments made me want to eat. None of it made me want to go and pick up a burger and eat. By the way, when people say that, I hope you know that you can't just eat a burger and gain weight. Just, you know, it's got to be a consistent thing. But anyway, it didn't make me want to eat. It just made me worse. And it just made me want to shut the whole world out. I obviously didn't want to be on YouTube. I feel like in video you can really tell how small somebody is and stuff. I don't think you can tell as much in pictures. But YouTube was the place that my skinniness was highlighted the most, and I really just wanted to avoid it. Eventually I did hypnosis to help me with things because everything was just getting out of control. I had no personality, and that was one of the hardest things to deal with because I knew that I wasn't good to be around. Even Georgina now, she says like, you weren't an easy person to be around. I was miserable. But you know, my friends still hung out with me, they still invited me to certain things, even though they know I wouldn't show up. And that meant a lot to me. Oh, I feel a little bit emotional now, but I love them so much. Not only did I not have any sort of personality, people would speak to me and things were like delayed, like I wouldn't hear them. Like it was like I'd hear them seconds later and then I would reply. My memory was awful, my eyesight, things were just blurry. I would get up and I'd be like, ooh. But as well as my eating disorder, I went to hypnotherapy to help with my depression and my anxiety. And yes, you can have both. And it's terrible and it's crippling. And it's very, very confusing. Because a lot of people know that depression is kind of when you stop caring and when you can't bother to do things. And anxiety is more so when you overthink everything and you worry about everything. And when you have a mix of them both, it's crippling. Hypnosis isn't what you imagine it to be. It's not some guy or some woman waving a watch in front of your face and you're unconscious. You're conscious throughout the whole thing. But what hypnosis did for me is it changed my mindset. It made me want to be a new version of myself. Hypnosis made me understand a lot of things, and it was basically the first step into me getting better. Hypnosis and making changes in my life, that was the steps. That was the first step in me getting better. There was a session in hypnotherapy where I had to go back. I had to revisit the time where my mental health started being shaky. And obviously back then, I didn't know what mental illness was. But there was one session where I basically had to comfort my younger self as my older self. And that session was really, really emotional. From that session, it like awakened something in me. It awakened who I'd eventually want to be. So I almost created this new version of myself, and every single day I would, my chest is welling up. I'm not gonna cry, but I just feel it. But every single day I would try and be this new Jade. So if I went to not eat, I had to think in my head, what would the new Jade do? And I'd think, well, the new Jade, she would eat. Or say if I had anxiety to get on the tube, I'd spend so much money on Ubers before. Now I get on the tube. I actually prefer the tube over getting a car sometimes because London traffic is no joke. But if I had anxiety to get on the train, before I just wouldn't attempt. But eventually I'd say to myself, what would the new Jade do? And the new Jade would at least attempt to go on the train. Thinking this way literally changed my life. I obviously knew that I should be eating. I obviously knew that I should have been taking care of myself, but my depression didn't even want me to get out of bed. I kind of just gave up on myself before hypnotherapy. And I think I had a fear of eating because I had gone so long without eating properly. Every time I did eat, I would get awful pains in my stomach. It was so uncomfortable, and it was like, yeah, I'm weak, my eyesight's blurry and shit, but the pain that would be in my stomach when I did eat, it was like I just did not want to feel that. After hypnosis, I just fought that pain, and over time it got better. Fast forward to now, and it obviously took me a while to get here because I was in deep depression for almost 2 years. I've been working on myself so much in the past year. I eat 3 meals a day like a normal person. I try and eat more if I can because I want to obviously gain faster, but sometimes life gets in the way and that is what it is. But I make food a priority now. I want to see my friends, I want to go to events, I want to travel, and that's how I know I'm myself again. This past year I've been getting to know myself again, sort of making up for lost time. I've been spending time with Isla and all of my loved ones. I've been traveling, I've been connecting with brands, I've been working on things behind the scenes that I can't wait to one day tell you guys about. So much has been happening, but I finally feel ready to come back on YouTube and really try. I've honestly been really scared to come back on YouTube. And as silly as this may sound to some people, I'm scared because I'm going to be being myself. The people that have been here from the start of my career, you guys already know that I'm crazy, I'm outspoken, I'm opinionated, but because of my depression, I just stopped being all of those things. Obviously, I wasn't myself. Now that I'm out of the depression, I've been worried that people would watch my videos and be like, who is this Jade? Like, where has this girl come from, sort of thing, you know? But really, I'm being myself. I was in that dark space for a lot of my career, and in my head, that's the Jade that people know. So that's the Jade I sort of continued to be. But doing that has just made me feel shit about myself, to be honest, because I'm not expressing myself the way that I should. Do I think I could ever offend anyone badly? No, I don't. But can I be a little bit cheeky? Yes, I can. I was watching some of my old YouTube videos not long ago because I just wanted to remind myself why I started, you know? And I was watching it and I was looking at my videos and I would just say really cheeky things. There was one video where I was like, it was a makeup tutorial, and I was like, if you're gonna comment and say that this is too much makeup, then don't, because you're on a makeup channel and I just don't care. And I was thinking, oh my god. So save yourself commenting and putting that's far too much makeup for you, because it's evident that this is a lot of makeup, but it's evident that I also don't care. I'm obviously professional with what I do. I obviously do the job, I edit, and I've got equipment and all sorts of stuff. However, like, I swear, and I'm just common. Like, I grew up in a certain way and it's just always stayed with me. So I'm just not prim and proper. I mean, I can dress prim and proper sometimes, you know, sometimes I can be that bitch. But overall, I'm just Jade, the Jade that I've always been. And I want to be able to work with brands that like me for me. I don't want to sculpt myself so that every brand and everyone will like me, because that's a kind of a weak mentality. Like, that was the girl that I was in school. I wanted everybody to like me, and I think it sort of followed me through adulthood, but I'm over it. I do not want to be a watered down version of myself to please others. That is not who I want to be. And let's face it, whether I am the watered down version of myself or whether I'm Jade, it doesn't matter. You're going to get hate regardless. It literally makes zero difference. I think that a lot of the time, and I'm not just speaking for myself, but when people feel like they can't be themselves, they're sort of protecting themselves, because it's like, if you're not showing all of you, then what people have got to say doesn't offend you as much, because it's like, well, it's not me anyway. But if you're actually being yourself and people are coming for you, that hurts more. But I don't care anymore. All that does is leave me unhappy. And I don't want to do that. Depression is in your brain. It's not really something that you see. It's not like a broken leg where you look at someone and it's like, oh my gosh, like they're going through something. And I think people disregard mental health a lot. 1 in 4 people suffer with it, and it's beyond me how it does get overlooked, because so many people are going through it, and if you're not going through it, there's a big chance that at some point of your life you might. To someone that's not in depression, someone can look lazy, unmotivated, have a lack of ambition, can come across as flaky. It's a huge shame that mental health can affect people's life in so many ways. It's hard to watch somebody you love go through that, and it can affect jobs, it can literally affect everything. The lighting's getting darker now. I feel like I have to... Is that better? I think so. People always say, you know, check up on your friends, but have no regards for people that aren't your friends. And all that causes is for people to just not want to talk about it. I remember trying to sort of talk about it and people saying to me that I have no place to feel how I feel. I have a house, I have a career, I have a lovely daughter, I have family, and that I'm pretty or whatever. But I just want to let you know that mental health doesn't give two shits about what you've got. It literally makes no sense. Of course I'm aware of the blessings that I've got. I'm the one that's living this life. I literally count my blessings every single day. I saw a quote the other day and it said that telling somebody that they shouldn't be down because some people have it worse is like saying to people that they shouldn't be happy because some people have it better. And it's honestly so true, because despite me having these things, I didn't have my health. Some things can even come from childhood, and the trauma of some things that you went through in childhood can creep up into your adult life without you even realizing that it's come from your childhood. And things like this happen all the time. And for how common mental health is, it just makes no sense to me how it's so misunderstood. Don't get me wrong, I can be harsh on myself. Nothing is good enough for me, and I think that's just come from childhood and how people have sort of made me feel. But I am just very overcritical of myself. The confessions video that I did with the girls, that was the first video in a very long time that I've been proud of. I was watching it and I was like, I would watch this. It took me 3 days to edit that video because I was trying out new editing techniques, and it probably wouldn't take me that long to do that now, but because I was trying so many new things, it took me a long time. But the response to that video was amazing, and it's given me so much of a push. I want to say that even though it was hard for me to have a baby while I was going through everything, she has made me so much stronger. Good morning. Here, every mouth. You're so excited. Why? Why are you so... Oh my god. Is that funny? She makes me want to be better so that I can be the best version of myself for her. I want to be that example to her. I want her to be proud of her mum. Go on then. Cute little toes. Cutest things ever. Oh, baby, it's okay. Go on, keep going. I want to be able to teach her how to deal with things, and I think she's going to grow up being a tiny girl because she's small now, and I want her to be confident about it. I don't want her to hate herself the way that I have over the years. Oh, yeah. mummy loves kisses. Isla, you don't think mummy's shoes are a bit big for you?
No.
Yeah, strong. So you didn't do this. You didn't do this. The wolf did it. You honestly can't look after anybody until you look after yourself, and she really makes me want to look after myself so I can look after her. I have been blessed with the most amazing child. She is so smart, she is so brave, she is like fearless, she's just crazy. And I am so proud to be her mum. I'm so proud that my body grew this incredible human. She really is such a good girl, and honestly the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I just find it so crazy how something that you was going through can strengthen you up this much. When I said in my labour and delivery story that after I gave birth to her, I felt like I could do anything, I was not lying. Like, after I had her, and even though things were bad for a while, I really fought to be better. At the time it was like, why am I going through all of this? It made no sense. It seemed unfair. The lighting's getting darker now, I'm so sorry. I've had the most amazing people around me helping me get through all of this, and I will never ever forget what each and every one of them has done for me. I don't know what I would do without them. The whole experience has shaped and humbled me in so many ways, but having people around you that are cheering you on does make it that little bit easier, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to have that. I'm not saying I will never be in a bad mood again, those days happen, but I just pray that I never see depression again. Even when something is going on in my life or I'm going through something, I just don't react the same way that I used to, and that's a lot of growth for me. I do want to say though that online hate is kind of out of control, right? It is. People are able to say whatever the hell they want, and it's just not good. There is obviously pros and cons of every job, but I just think it's inhumane to just be so hateful towards somebody that you don't know. Like, it's strange. I think something does need to change with it. I think online hate has become even bigger since like tea pages and drama channels and all these gossip forum things are about. That's what's popular right now. The industry is not exactly, you know, it's not about what it used to be. It's like not about the makeup anymore. It's about like who sucked whose dick, you know? Another reason why YouTube has kind of been a big mission for me, and I've never spoken about this, but obviously people get paid off of YouTube videos. You get AdSense when people view your videos, you get paid or whatever. And this is going to sound very strange, but I have only ever been, for as long as I've been on YouTube, I've been paid by YouTube once in my YouTube career. I don't know why. It's an ongoing problem that me and management are trying to sort out. I've considered deleting this channel and starting a new one. And honestly, when you've been working at something for years and you're not getting paid for it, it's really not nice. Most of the money that I've made has been through Instagram or it's been through paid content on YouTube, but as far as AdSense goes, I have been paid once. Obviously, if anybody's been working for a long time and you've got what is required to start getting paid and you're not, It's just like, why? But it's an issue that I'm sure we'll be able to get sorted one day. I guess I'll let you know when I've finally sorted it. I actually feel a lot better getting everything off my chest. I felt like this is a video that I had to do in order to move on, as silly as that may sound to some people. I just really don't want any of you to think that I just don't care or that I've forgotten about you. I could never forget about you and everything that you've done. You've changed my life in so many more ways than you could possibly imagine, and I will forever be grateful for all of that. When I was in my depression, I didn't really know how to address things, and to be honest, I didn't really want to, because I felt like it would give the people that make it their mission to hate me more reason to talk about me and more reason to pick at me. But I'm not in that place now, but before I just buried it all. Now that I'm out of that place, I feel like I can talk about it because I'm just ready to move on from it all. And I don't really care what people have to say anymore. I've honestly heard it all, and 99% of the stuff that people come out with are false. But people think that they know your life inside out just from social media. You see some videos, you see some pictures, like everyone lives a 24-hour life every day. You don't know when I've gone through a shit, like, you know? I am the one that's living my real life. I'm the one that knows the truth about everything that happens in my life, and I'm satisfied with that, to be honest. As long as I'm trying to better myself every day, that's all I can do, and it's all anyone can do. And anyone that comes on any of my platforms with any sort of hatred is just simply just going to get blocked, because I don't have to tolerate it. I don't want to tolerate it. I don't have to tolerate it. So I understand that people have opinions, and I understand that people are entitled to their opinions. I have opinions as well. But some people just take it too far. Like, yeah, have an opinion about a makeup product you dislike, but to comment on someone's life without knowing them is just crazy. Like, people just put things in group chats or something. Like, that's like the most normal thing to do. I really want to be able to be more open and honest with you guys. If there's a day where I feel shit, I might just come online and tell you that I feel shit, because it is what it is. I'm ready for you guys to see this Jade. But as I said before, if you've been watching me, like, this won't be anything new to you. But I just can't wait to just start putting out stuff that I'm truly, truly happy with. And I'm just excited to just be myself. I want to thank each and every one of you that has taken the time to watch this video. I hope that I'm a little bit more understood now. If not, then I fucking tried, you know? As much as I've done this video for the people that have been down with me and that have been riding with me for a very long time, I have done this video for myself because I actually just needed to get some things off of my chest. From now on, you'll be seeing my crazy antics. People will understand me and some people won't. It's the same for absolutely everybody. And it's okay if you don't like me, because I probably don't like you. I honestly feel like I have such a dope support system online. As much as I get bullshit, as well as everybody else does, you guys have been amazing to me. I'm so glad that I made it through this video without crying. But I always feel like if you can talk about something and no longer cry about it, that means you are healed or healing. So, yeah, it's getting dark out. The lighting is really bad, I'm so sorry. But thank you again. I love you so much, and I will see you guys soon.